Okay, so we're going to look at polynomial operations. And operations in math simply means when you do addition, s- subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so we're going to take two polynomials and then we're going to learn how to add or subtract. And then we're also going to look at multiplication for polynomials, and then we're going to look at division. So in this uh, practice problem I have here, I'm asked to add because I have this first polynomial and then I have the second polynomial, both in parentheses with an addition sign in between. So when we're adding or subtracting, we just combine like terms. So when we know that they are like terms if they have the same exponent. So right here we have 3x squared and sorry 3x cubed and then x cubed. So they both have the same exponent. So those are like terms. So we do 3 plus 1. There's a 1 in the front here. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So that is 4x cubed. Okay, that's a cube right there. And then, sorry, let me just rewrite it. 4x cubed. This pen isn't working too well. And then let's look at the 8. Let's see what 8 is like terms with. Here would be this 8, not because this is another 8, it's just because they both are constant terms. So you have 8 minus 8, which is 0. I'll still write it, but when we clean it up, we don't need to write that. Then we have negative 4x squared and then 2x squared. They both have x squared, so these two are like terms. So negative 4 plus 2 is positive 2x squared. So if I were to just kind of write it all together, it's 4x cubed. And then we don't have to write the 0 plus 2x squared. Now, we do like to write from the highest degree to the lowest degree. So we do write the 3 first and then we write the 2. So this is my final sum of these two polynomials. Let's find the difference between them. The difference is subtraction. So the first thing I'm going to look at is 2k to the fourth power. Here's the fourth power. So these two are my like terms. So 2k minus a negative. So negative, negative makes a positive. So 2 plus 1. So again, this is what I have here. So 2k to the fourth minus, and then a minus. Actually, let me show you another way. Whenever we do, before I even do the like terms, whenever we have a subtraction, I do like to go ahead and distribute this negative sign. And what that does is it just changes the sign in all of my polynomial here, and then you can combine like terms. So you have here, I'm just gonna write this down, 2k to the fourth plus 7k squared minus 4k, and then this negative makes it a negative 4k squared. Negative times a negative is a positive k to the fourth power. And then negative, so that's negative 5k. All right, so now let's go ahead and combine our like terms. So you have 2k to the fourth and then 4k. So 2 plus 1 is 3k to the fourth. Then let's look at this one, 7k squared minus 4k squared. So those are my like terms. 7 minus 4 is 3k squared. And then negative 4k, oops, negative 4k minus 4k. So negative, negative, oh, negative minus a negative, it stays a negative, and you just add them. 4 plus 5 is 9k. Okay, so that's my final answer. I don't know. I have no idea why I put a square there. It doesn't have a square. And that is my final answer. So that's it. Okay, so that's when you're adding or subtracting. So when you're adding, just combine your like terms. When you're subtracting, just I would distribute the negative first and then combine my like terms. All right, let's look at multiplying. Multiplying is when you distribute each term of the first polynomial to the term in the second. So basically the 5x right here has to be distributed, and then the 2 has to be distributed. Then we combine our like terms. Okay, so let's look at the 5x. So you're going to do 5x times 3x squared. So 5 times 3 is 15. And then x, and the exponents, you just add them up. So you remember there's a 1 here, so 1 plus 2. So this is 15x cubed. So 5x squared times 3x squared, sorry, 5x times 3x squared is 15x cubed. And then we're going to do 5x times 4x. So 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And then you have x squared. And then 5x times 1 is 5x. Okay, so that's when I did the 5x. Now I'm gonna go ahead and distribute the 2. So you have 2 times 3 is 6, so you have 6x squared, and I'm gonna line it up over here. So you have positive 6x squared, and then you have 2 times negative 4, so 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, and then you have the x, and I'm gonna write it here, so negative 8x. And then 2 times 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. I'm just going to write it here. And then now you can go ahead and combine your like terms. So I'm just going to put, there's nothing here, so that's just 15x cubed. So negative 20 plus 6, that's negative 14x squared. And then you have 5 minus 8, which is negative 3x. And then I'm just going to bring down the 2. So this is my final answer. Let's try another one. So you have 2x times 6x squared. So 2 times 6 is 12. And then you have x cubed. 2x times x, which is 2x squared. 2x times negative 3, so that's negative 6x. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24, and then that's x squared. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 3, negative 3 is positive 12. And let's go ahead and add them all up. So you have 12x cubed. So 2 minus 24, so that's negative 22x squared. Negative 10x. Negative 6 minus 4, that's negative 10x plus 12. And that is my final answer. We're going to do the division in the next lesson.